If you're a property investor or a homeowner, not having the right buying strategy for you can actually come against you long term. This is the first video in a series of videos on all the different buying strategies that you can have when it comes to buying property. And without having the right strategy in place for you, homeowner or investor, it can come against you because you may not buy in the right location, you may not pay the right price, and you can waste a lot of time in sourcing and researching for properties if you don't have the right strategy. Hi, I'm Karen from Kelly Property Consultants. I'm a buyer's advocate and I help property investors and homeowners get into the property market in regional New South Wales. If you ever need any assistance in finding your next property, click the link below and book an appointment with me today, and I'd love to be able to help you out. So this is just a short and sweet video on one of the first different buying strategies that you can have, and that's buy and hold. It's a simple one. It's a simple one to start with if you're new to purchasing property, but there are a few things that you should consider before you actually use this strategy. So what is buy and hold? Basically, it's finding a property, buying it, and holding it for the long term. You're not going in to buy it with the intention of renovating or subdividing. You're not doing anything to it. The property, if you're an investor, the property will just pay for itself, hopefully, or it may be negatively geared. As a homeowner, the buy and hold strategy basically is just buying the property, living there long term, and letting capital growth do its own thing over a long period of time. So that's one thing as an investor I'd be looking at is what is the capital growth rate for that area? Because as an investor at this stage, this is the only way you're going to make money on the property is over the long term and your capital growth. Another thing to consider is what is the rental yield? As an investor, this is going to be paying our bills and paying the property off if you buy at the right price and the right location. But as a buy and hold strategy, I definitely would be looking into areas that have good capital growth rate. Now, the capital growth rate over the last 12 to 18 months, it's been really unusual. It's hard to actually gauge what are the right areas to buy in. So this is where you need to go and look, say, over the last 5 years and what has been the average growth rate for that period. From here, you can start to gauge, well, over the last 5 years, the average growth rate has been at a certain percent. If you're happy with that growth rate, well, then this may be the area that you look to invest in. And then you need to go back down to your normal research, as in buying the right house in the right location. It has to be at the right price. Paying too much right at the beginning will actually make you lose money because it actually takes time for the value of the house that you bought it at to actually meet the market. So if you bought a house $50,000 more than what the market was at the time, it may take you a year or two for it to actually go up to that if the growth rate isn't that high. So buying at the right price is a vital thing that you need to do. So I've always been told you make money when you buy the property, not just when you sell it. So buying at the right price is vital. As a homeowner, the buy and hold strategy is probably the normal thing that a lot of homeowners do. They'll hold the property, live there for a certain amount of time, and they may or may not move on to the next property, which may be a newer, bigger property, relocating, whatever it may be. But even if I was a homeowner, I'd still be looking to try and buy in the right location just so I can get capital growth long term, and this is only going to benefit me. One of the other things that you need to consider is what name you're buying the property in. If you're an investor, I'd be speaking to your accountant and find out, should I set up a structure and buy it in a structure, such as a company name or a trust? This is to do with your tax, but this is something you definitely need to speak to your accountant. Normally, as a homeowner, you'd be buying this in your own name. But again, if you're unsure, make sure you speak to your accountant. And if you definitely are buying in a structure, make sure you have this set up before you even start looking at property. This will take time to get it set up and organised. And if you find a property in a hot market and you're not prepared to actually go in and buy then and there, you may miss out on the property. So this is just the first video in a video series of different buying strategies for real estate. So the buy and hold strategy is a really easy strategy to use, but just make sure that when you're doing your research, just find areas that have a good capital growth rate return. Check out the rental yield if you're an investor, so you know what you're actually going to get. If you're not sure how to work this out, I've actually got a property calculator. I will put the link below so you can actually use that. And within a couple of minutes, you can work out how much it's going to cost to hold the property for the buy and hold strategy. Also, make sure you're picking the right location, and definitely make sure you buy at the right price. Remember, we make money when we buy the property, not just when we sell it. So if you like what you've seen in this video, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and also hit the little bell notification for any future videos as they come out weekly. And if you ever need any assistance in buying in regional New South Wales, book an appointment below. I'd love to be able to help you out. But until the next buying strategy video, all the best to your property journey.